There is a huge concentration of media, there's a huge concentration of power, there is ample evidence that sometimes that power is misused. Not just, so there's a couple of things that you can talk about. One is the way news is gathered, nobody's necessarily saying that, but also the way news is deployed. I'm not saying that you should just let them roam free, okay? I'm not saying you shouldn't set up limits and expectations. What I'm saying is this particular proposal, which to be honest, I don't even think anyone's serious about, that you legally have some kind of a right, is just not the right way to go. Of course you want to develop a relationship with your children, you want them to trust you when they're younger. I have to really go with you here, that it's quite insulting to suggest that a perfectly normal, healthy, functioning man searches out, is aroused by this kind of really fringe material, and then instantly turns into a sexual predator. I don't buy it. I think it's insulting, and I think...
But that's not the only...
I mean, is it just entertainment? Because it is very entertaining, and do you want people to laugh and enjoy it and then get up and walk away and not think about it again, or are there things you're hoping people will walk out of the theatre with?
Oh, no, Leslie, I do hope they will walk out of the theatre thinking.
Leslie Cannold has very kindly agreed to be our host and facilitator this evening. We're in the really fortunate position of Leslie having been playing that role throughout this whole process, so she's been part of a whole lot of conversations, which has been great. Please make her welcome. Thanks, Leslie.
How's everyone doing tonight? It's fantastic that you have all come out here today, and we've got some terrific questions to talk about. Just so that you know a little bit about who I am, I wear a number of different hats, but the important one for tonight is that I am a creator. So I'm a novelist, and my book, The Book of Rachel, has been out here in Australia and is heading off to the United States now to be published. So I'm very, very interested and engaged in the city of Melbourne and what it does for the arts, and within the context of all of Australia, as I know many of you are. What I would contest is this idea that, you know, civilised societies have always had a respect for human life, and indeed they've always interpreted that kind of notion in the same way. In fact, where progressive societies are moving and where the central kind of ideas about ethics are now are really much more about autonomy. They're much more about recognising that we live in a plural, diverse society. Your religious views are different to your views, which are different to your views, and that we all have a right to try to articulate for ourselves what we value, what our needs are, and when we face something as critical as a terminal illness, what we choose to do about it.
From such a case of omission.
Well, absolutely, but that's acting as if what inheritance is a reward, and that's not what inheritance is. I mean, we have a society where we say, well, the wealth that you've accumulated ought to go to people who you're connected to, rather than, for instance, back into the national coffers. If we really believed, for instance, in radical equality, we would believe that upon death, everybody's money should go into the collective. That means everybody starts anew. You make your way, or you don't, without any help from family money. But that's not how we think about inheritance.
It's great to see you all here. With some trepidation, I grip the machine and try to take hold of the situation. But what I'm going to do is, if this for some reason does not work, I'm just going to put it down and I'm just going to go on. Okay, so I don't want anyone to panic. It's not the end of the world. I can do it without the slides.